This video will introduce an AI agent for decomposing and composing Chinese character radical. Before we begin, let's first understand what Chinese character radical are. In simple terms, Chinese character radical are the decomposition of Chinese characters based on their shapes. In a Chinese character, parts that are separated or connected can be decomposed, but parts that intersect cannot be decomposed. Here are some practical examples. One can be broken down into 水加王. On the other hand, multiple radical can be combined to form a character. For example, 一口有口木 can be combined to form 吉. Current large-scale language models do not perform well when it comes to decomposing or composing Chinese character radical. This is why we designed the Chinese character radical expert agent. We designed our agent using the assistant in the OpenAI platform and incorporated the knowledge of real-world Chinese character radical experts into specialized instructions. Finally, we combined it with the n8n platform to create a chat room where users can converse with an avatar of a Chinese character radical expert. The key design elements of this agent are as follows. 1. Incorporating expert knowledge into the agent improves its performance in solving problems related to decomposing and composing Chinese character radical. 2. Incorporating the expert's personal characteristics into the agent, primarily through humor. Before we continue, let's first understand what questions the agent is designed to answer. There are 3 types of problems: decomposing, composing, and composing by extension. The first two have been introduced previously. Composing by extension means that the agent must add new radical to the user-provided radical set to form a word. For example, .ask agent, composed by extension 1, 2. The agent is expected to have the ability to add the radical ren to the original combination to obtain the character sa. Next, let's move on to the agent presentation. First, let me ask agent about the decomposition of the word ying. The word ying means win in English. This Chinese character has a very complex structure. Let's guess how the agent will decompose it. Now, as you can see in the chat room, the agent has successfully decomposed the word incorrectly. If you're interested, you can ask ChatGPT about this and see if it can also decompose it correctly. Next, let's look at agent's ability to compose Chinese character radical into words. Another thing to note is that no matter what type of question it is, the agent will definitely need a certain amount of time to think, so please don't be too anxious. Now, let's take a look at the agent's performance. If you are familiar with Chinese characters, you can also try to solve the problem on the screen. As you can see, the agent successfully answered the question correctly and displayed a humorous streak. Those of you watching may consider how the character fu is composed. Have you figured out how to compose words? Next, let's take a look at agents, composed by extension capability. I know you're in a rush, but chill just for a sec. If you are not familiar with Chinese characters, you may also want to read the previous agent's answer. Incidentally, the compose by extension type of question requires the agent to add new radical to the original radical set to compose a word. Now, the agent has successfully completed the compose by extension task by adding new radical to the original radical set. 木加力加键 equals 亲 n 亲加1 equals 称 equals 木加力加键加1. Now, let's take a look at the agent's ability to decompose Chinese characters. You can also try to decompose the word jin in front of the screen. Take a closer look at the agent's response. Isn't it hard to imagine? This is the agent's ability to answer after being trained with expert information. Let's look at a more challenging example and think about what words we can create with this radical set. In this example, we can see that the agent can repeatedly use a single radical to form a word. Now, let's look at a simple example: compose n8n. It is important to note that slightly changing the position of radical relative to each other may produce different results. Now, we can see that the agent tried to place the radical set in different positions and obtain a total of 3 different Chinese characters. I hope that after watching the previous demonstration, you can have a deeper understanding of the agent of Chinese character radical expert. If you have any questions, please leave a message or contact us. See you next time.